Hallelujah. You know, I was thinking as I was downtown, I know all the gospel artists that was nowadays are very, very excellent. They are very, very skillful singers. But the Lord said, what should be aside is the anointing. Hallelujah. That was the only difference right there, because see, I don't want to do nothing if the anointing is not on me. Hallelujah. God don't give me the anointing, I don't want to do it. Hallelujah. Glory to his name. Hallelujah. So I just praise him, y'all.
every day. Jesus, be a fence around me every day. First, I want to give honor to God and to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for having this opportunity to be able to share the Word of God with you. I thank God for each and every one of you, as well as those of you who are streaming live on Facebook. We just want to say we love you, we appreciate you, and may God continually bless you. You know, as we were sitting here, and as the minister, Elder Brown, a much beloved man of my life that I truly love and admire because of his genuineness and his sincerity, I just thank God for him. And it was amazing, the feat that just occurred with him by receiving the Gospel, of the Year, Vocalist of the Year Award, Outstanding Vocalist of the Gospel Vocalist of the Year Award. And we really thank God for that. And it just was so amazing because I had an opportunity, me and him, we were talking earlier this week on the phone, and it was just, it's amazing how God can minister to you and tell you something that you need to hear. And God has a way of saying, you know, I know what you're going through, I know what you're dealing with, and God seems to give you just what you need to hear when you need to hear it. I was driving along and I was coming from work and I was headed to pick up my son, and a song came on that said, and the words were simple, it said that I've been through the fire, but I got out. And that was the name of the song. The song says, I've been through the fire, and I got out. And as I began to think on that, I was like, God, you know, I know exactly what you mean and what the song is saying here about I've been through the fire, but I got out. And the reason why this began to minister to me is I was talking to the elder earlier this week on the phone, and he was like, man, it just seems like the heat in my life, it seems to be turned up.
Oh, Lord, yes.
And you know, I had to ask myself, I was like, God, you know, it just seems like this is a recurring theme about people going through this and with what's going on with the economy and all these things that are transpiring, that this seems like it's a recurring theme. I'm hearing a lot of ministers focus on this, and I'm hearing a lot of people talk on this, and I'm hearing a lot of this word shared that, you know something, it seems like I'm in the fire right now. I feel like one of those, three of those Hebrew boys that I'm in the fire, and sometimes I ask myself, why have I been in this fire for so long?
Hold on, Jesus.
And I began to ask God something, and as I was asking him, I was like, God, you know, I'm hearing what everyone is saying, and I'm seeing this recurring theme about people being in the fire. And you know, I just heard God say this, you know what, fire can do one or two things. It can either purify or consume.
Like that.
Let me say that one more time. Fire can do one or two things. It can either purify or consume. What it does in your life is contingent on how you respond while you're under pressure. What that fire will produce in your life is going to be based solely on how you respond while you're in a difficult situation. Does anybody know what I'm talking about being in a difficult situation? Anybody understand what I'm talking about when it seems like you're doing everything you know to do right, but it seems like the more you do right, it seems like evil is continually present. It seems like the more you're trying to do what you know to do, it seems like the fire is just continually being turned up.
Wow. Come on now. Lord.
So you've been asking yourself, God, why have I been in this fire for so long?
Oh, glory.
And I'll tell you something, and I want you to go to 1 Peter. That's in the New Testament, towards the end of your Bibles. I want for you to go to 1 Peter chapter 1. You see, one of the things he says, you know, the first song that the elder sang was praise is what I do. And the reason why I love this song and I can appreciate this song is what this song actually represents to me is, you know what, regardless of what I'm going through and regardless of what I'm dealing with and regardless of how hot this situation may seem in my life, you know something, praise is what I'm going to do.
Oh, glory, yes, yes.
I'm not going to allow the enemy to rob me of my praise. No longer will I allow myself situations to dictate my future. Right now, as a child of God, regardless of how hard it is, regardless of what's going on, you know something? Praise is what I'm going to do. Anybody know that we tell you, okay, let me give some examples about praise is what I'm going to do. Anybody got a teenager at home? Or a preteen? Or praise is what you got to do, ain't it? Hallelujah. Yes, praise is what you got to do. Anybody have a grown child that might be staying with you and it's like, you know, praise is what you got to do.
Oh, Lord. Somebody.
Because sometimes it just gets so hot that you be like, Lord.
Come on, preach that.
Woo.
Come on, preach
Lord,
that.
I'm trying not to lay hands.
Come on, preach.
So praise is what I'm going to do.
Amen.
Praise is what I'm going to do. And how do we praise him? And it's starting in 1 Peter. Now somebody's going to get in. Somebody's going to understand the reason why your situation is so hot. You're going to understand the reason why you've been in the fire for so long. Because you know something? In God, there's a reason for everything. You may not understand the reason. You may not see the reason right now in your life. But when you are in something, it's for a reason. And God, reasoning is beyond your comprehension. So what we need to do is get to that place and say, God, I'm not understanding why I'm in this situation. But God, I'm going to take your word as for what it says. That means, God, that even though I'm in it, hallelujah, I know that you're with me while I'm in it. And if I know that you're with me while I'm in it, regardless of how hot it's going to get, God, I'm going to allow myself to be purified and not consumed. Because what transpires, if you trust in God while you're under that heat, you get purified. But as soon as you start trying to work your way out, you get consumed.
Oh, glory. Wow, wow. What a word.
So this is what Peter here is saying. He was like, and starting in verse 3, he says, blessed be the God and our Father, our Lord Jesus Christ. Blessing is God. You know something? Praise is what I do. I'm going to bless you, Lord. I'm going to exalt you, Lord. I'm going to honor you, Lord. Regardless of what's going on, regardless of what I'm dealing with, regardless of what the circumstance may dictate in my life right now, God, I'm going to bless your name. Blessed be the God and our Father, our Lord Jesus Christ, which according to his abundant mercy hath begotten us unto a lively hope by the resurrection of Jesus Christ from the dead. Now, in other words, he says, you know something? God has produced within us a living hope. And what is a living hope? Is when we understand that Jesus Christ was resurrected from the dead. A lot of us are in situations where we find ourselves at the point of death. But God is wanting you to know that there's still hope when you're at that point of death in your life. Because if Jesus Christ was raised from the dead, God is assuring you that death is not the end. I don't think y'all caught that. You see, you done found yourself that you've been in that fire for so long that you found yourself at your ending point. You found yourself at your death. But God is saying, I need for you to know that there's a living hope that's in you. And my hope, as scripture says in Romans, make it not ashamed. In other words, if you put your earnest expectation in me, and you may feel like you're at the point of death, you are not at your end, but you're at your beginning. You're in a lively or a living hope. Now listen to this. To an inheritance, incorruptible and undefiled, and fadeth not away, reserved for you in heaven. So in other words, God said, I know it's hot. I know when they say, you know, that old saying is when it get hot in the kitchen, what you're supposed to do, get out. But God is here saying, he says, although it may be hot in the kitchen, what I need for you to do is keep on cooking. I don't see y'all didn't hear that. When it gets hot in the kitchen, instead of looking for a way out, what I need for you to do is to have the mind that you're going to keep on cooking. Why? Because you have an inheritance waiting for you. You have something that God has sealed and made sure to be yours through his son, Jesus Christ. But what I need for you to do is realize that the heat is on for a reason. And just because it may seem like you at your end, you're really at my beginnings. Somebody can get something out of this. He says, who have kept by the power of God through faith unto salvation, ready to be revealed in the last time. It says, now in other words, I need for you to know something. You are not kept by your power. You are not kept by your strength. You are not kept by your spouse's strength. You are not kept by the fact that you have a paycheck at the end of the month, or the end of the week. What you're capped by is you're capped by the all-exclusive power of God. The power of God that has spoke the universe into existence. The same power of God that speaks life and life is. That's the same power that God is saying that will keep you in your heated situation. Now remember, you're in the fire for a reason.
Lord, like that.
Hold on, let me say this one more time. You're in the fire for a reason. In 6, wherein you greatly rejoice, though now for a season, if need be, you are in heaviness through manifold temptations. Hold on. Let me make sure that I'm reading this right. I'm going to read it out of the Amplified. It says, you should be exceedingly glad on this account. You should be exceedingly, wait a minute. You're trying to tell me, Peter, that I need to be glad that I'm in the fire? That I need to rejoice because the heat is being turned up? You mean to tell me that I need to find my place of saying, God, I'm going to praise you even though everything around me seems like it's going to hell? God, you're telling me to find a place of rejoicing. You see, your rejoicing isn't in your position. Your rejoicing is in the God who's able to bring you out of that position. But what we need to do is stop focusing on what we're going through and focusing what God has for you.
Oh, yes. Come on, say this. Yes, sir.
You're in a fire for a reason. You're in a fire for a reason. And see, I like what it says. It says, yea, and are in heaviness through manifold temptations. You know what that manifold means? That manifold means you got a lot of things that's going to come in your way. Hold on. Maybe I might have been the only one in the church who ever found myself in a position where it seems like I was dealing with one thing, and just when that one thing I thought I was almost over, something else came my way. And then when I thought I was almost out of that, here comes something else. Maybe I might be the only one who, when my child was acting up and I thought that I got that child all the way right in, something happened on my job. And when I finally got that situation right on my job, then you know what? Something happened at the church. And when I thought that I got that situation all transpired and all fixed, something happened with my brother or my sister. And it just seems like I just had one temptation after another temptation after another temptation to just say, I quit.
Oh, come on.
Am I the only one?
Breathe.
Hallelujah. I'm not going to stand up here and be sanctimonious unto you, because I found myself in many times and in many places and in many situations saying, God, I'm just ready to quit.
I know that's right. Yes.
Hallelujah. Now listen to this. But verse 7 drove it home to us. He says that the trial of your faith. That the trial of your faith. What is your faith? Your faith is your trust in God. Your faith is your guarantee seal that God, I'm believing your word despite what I see, despite what I hear, despite what I'm feeling. God, I choose to have faith. I choose to have trust that you will work this thing out. I realize now that I'm in the fire, God, but I know that I'm in the fire for a reason. And I know that that reason is now, God, that the enemy sees what you're going to do in my life. The enemy has peeked into my future because he knows your word, and he knows your word has now captivated my very soul. And because your word has now captivated my very soul, he knows what I got coming. So what he's trying to do is he knows he can't stop it. But if he can only get me out of position just a little bit, that I'm not able to receive what God has for me, he knows that if he can do that, then what's going to happen is now I'll rely on myself, and instead of being purified in my fire, I'll get consumed.
Come on, preach, sir. Yes, sir. Wow.
Now listen to this. That the fire trial of your faith being much more precious than of gold that perisheth, though it be tried with fire, here we go, might be found unto praise and honor and glory at the appearing of Jesus Christ. You know something? The reason why you're going through it, the reason why you're going through the fire is because God is burning some stuff off. And what God has, the reason why God has to burn some stuff off is because God is ready to take you to that next level. And the only way you're going to be able to stay on that next level in your life is once those things get burned off and burned out. What happens now, you're going to be able to maintain what God is going to open for you. You'll be able to maintain how God is going to increase you. But you have to first go through the fire. You have to first be purified enough that when God opens up the windows of heaven and pour out that blessing on you, that there's not room enough to receive it, that you will be able to receive it, and it does not consume you. I don't think y'all got it. See, let me tell y'all something. When God was giving it to me, I seen the elder's face, and I was like, why am I seeing the elder's face? Why am I seeing his face in all this? And Sister Brown, I'm getting ready to tell you why. I'm getting ready to tell you why, because you're getting ready to rejoice in this. And I was like, why am I seeing his face? Because he was telling me about the pressures and the situations that was going on at home and what was going on and what was, you see, what happened is when he got this award, this was just the platform to introduce him to that next level that God has for him. You see, what was happening, he was doing all that pressure and doing all that fire. God was purifying him because now that next level has been opened up to him and to his family. So that is an illustration that now God has something so great ahead of you that when it comes down on you, the only thing you're going to be able to do is fall on your face and say, God, I give you the praise. God, I give you the glory. God, I give you the honor. I didn't know why I had to go through it, and it was difficult when I was going through it. But now, God, the only thing I can do is give you the praise. That's why Paul was saying that I reckon that the sufferings of this present time is not worthy to be compared to the glory that shall be revealed in me. You see, Paul went through beating. Paul went through being beat down, and Paul went through being stoned, and Paul went through being betrayed. But he was still saying that this is nothing in comparison to what God has for me. Your time has come. Your time has come. But God is saying that in your fire, what I need for you to do is don't allow the fire to consume you. Allow it to purify you, because as it's going to purify you, it's going to take you to the place where I can release what I have for you. I can open up the window of heaven and I can pour and invest in your life. But what I need for you to be is in position to receive it and maintain it and keep it.
Hallelujah. Yes. Glory to your name, right here. Hallelujah.
So yes, you're being tried. Yes, that fire feels like it's burning away, and it feels like it's just burning you. But God is saying, you know something, if it don't kill you, it's only going to make you stronger. And the reason why it's making you stronger is because I got something for you. And what I got for you is only for you. And you're going to know it when you see it. You're going to recognize it, because it's going to be so amazing. It's going to be so grandiose in nature that the only thing you can say is, God, I know it's because of you.
Oh, Lord. Glory to your name. Yes, sir. Awesome.
So yeah,
Glory.
you going through the fire. Let me say this one more time. Yeah. What's that old song Shaka Khan sang, Through the Fire, Through the Rain. Yeah, you going through the fire. But see, God is saying that the trial of your faith, that is more precious than gold. And the reason why the trial of your faith is so precious is because it's preparing you to be in the position to receive all what heaven is ready to pour out into your life. And you see, the thing is about it, I'm going to tell you something. When God is going to pour it out in your life, it's going to come out in so grandiose, and it's going to come out in such a level that it's going to fill you from the bottom sole of your feet to the top of your head. And the reason why he's going to do this is because it's going to flow out into you, out of you, into your family.
Oh, Lord. All right now. Come on, preacher.
Hallelujah. Even the kids is praising. Hallelujah. So yeah, we're going through it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we don't understand why we're having to go through it. This does not mean that God puts things on you purposely. in order to produce in you. Yeah. What this does mean is what happens is the enemy is constantly coming up against you because he sees what God has for you. But as scripture says, when the enemy comes out against you as a flood, the Lord shall lift up a standard against him. As scripture says, if God be for you, who can be against you? Greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. Thinking not strange concerning the fiery trials that is to try you, as some strange thing has happened unto you. But rejoice in so much that you are partakers in Christ's sufferings, that when his glory shall be revealed, you may be glad also with exceeding joy. So scripture says, don't think it's strange because you find yourself, as it said in 1 Peter, you find yourself in the middle of that situation and the heat seems like it's turned up. Don't think it's strange because what God is doing is God is preparing you in it. Yes, he is. Hallelujah. God didn't send it, but he's preparing you in it. I don't think y'all. You see, God didn't send it, but he's preparing you in it. Glory. Glory. Right now. Like that. But it's time for us as the children of God to say, when you're in the middle of that storm and that heat is coming up and it's raging up against you, you need to step up at the bow of your ship. As Jesus said, and say, peace, be still. You know what, in other words, what I'm saying is like, you know something? Storm, I'm not running from you. Many of us have been runners all our lives. We run from one situation to the next situation. We run from one man to the next man. We run from one woman to the next woman. We run from one job to the next job. We run from one church to the next church. Come on, but God is saying now it's time for you to stand. Because all that running, you're going to run out. So what I need for you as my child, I need for you to know. I need for you to know that yes, it's hot. Yes, you find yourself weeping. But what we always say in closing is you know, weeping.
Come on now.
Weeping.
Yes, sir.
Endureth for a night.
What?
Weeping.
Yes, sir.
Endureth for a night. Anybody seem like that night was the longest night in your life?
Yeah. Come on.
I know for me personally, I had an 18-year weeping.
Come on now. Come on with it. Say this.
But when my morning came.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So weeping endureth for a night. But joy. But joy. But joy cometh in the morning. So God is saying right now, yes, it's been hot. But God is saying, I need for you to allow this heat to purify you and not consume you so you can step into your morning.
Oh, Lord, have mercy. Say this. Get real.
So yes, it's difficult. For all of my young adults here who are dealing with the difficulties in school and dealing with the different challenges that you have to face with the different bullies and the different things that are being said about you. Yes, it's difficult. Yes, it's hard. But because you are here, and even if your parents had to drag you here, because you are here, God is telling you now that he has your back. That he's with you. For all of our adults who's here and you've been challenged on your job and it just seems like it's going from worse to even worse, and it seems like at any day you may be let go or maybe laid off. God is saying right now, don't let it consume you. Let it purify you.
Yes.
For all of you who are dealing with the issues in health and with your health and you received all these different diagnoses and you don't know where to turn and you found yourself frustrated and you found yourself in a place where you don't know where to go or where to turn. God is saying, don't let it consume you.
Lord, let it consume.
Let it purify you.
Purify. Yes, Lord.
Because I'm in the process. Because the purification and going through the heat is the process that I need in order to take you to a place that is exceedingly, abundantly, above all you can ask or think. According to the power that is in work with you. The only way that power can be released is when you purify. Because now in that pure state, God can take you into your exceedingly, your abundantly, above all you can even ask. Or ever think. So if you get anything at all out of this message, stop running. Stop running from relationship to relationship. Stop running from church to church. Stop running from job to job. Stop running because you know something, things just don't seem right or you don't like how things is going. So the first thing you do is you want to get on the run and run and run and run. But you know something, you're going to keep running and you're going to run out of time. And once you run out of time, God forbid.
Lord, good God.
If you want to see the true power of God in your life, stop running and stay in it.
Amen.
Stop complaining about it. Stop talking about it. You know, that's the problem when those things come in. We talk more about it instead of Jesus says, whosoever says, say to this mountain. So stop talking about it and start talking to it.
Amen.
But stop running. Because the only way you'll see the power of God is when you, as the child of God, say, it's time for me to take a stand.
All right. Amen.
Is there anyone here today who says, you know what? I've heard that word. And you know something? I've been running from church to church. I've been running from relationship to relationship. You know, I've been running in and out of that. You might be in the same relationship and you run out of the relationship and run right back into it. You run out of it, I'm finished with him, and then you run right back to it.
Right back. Amen.
I knew I wouldn't hear too many amens on that.
Oh, yeah.
Glad I didn't see no Bibles and no tambourines fly up to the pulpit. Praise God.
Keep it real.
But that's what it is. We just keep running and keep running and keep running. But God is declaring right now. God is reaching out right now and saying, my child,
Amen.
stop running. Because you're running out. Allow yourself to be purified. Allow yourself to see what I'm more than able to do in your situation. Allow yourself to get out of the way. And let me be your way. If there's anyone here today who says, you know what, I've been doing that. I've been running, man, and but now I see that the reason why I've been in this situation is because I'm in the process. I'm in the process. God is always processing us. But if we run away from the process, how can we continue to increase? How can we grow? How can we develop? Because we're running from the process.
Yes.
Sometimes we get anybody who found yourself where you got into the place where the only thing you could do is trust God. That's the only thing you could do. But God is saying, trust me now. Trust my plan over your life. Trust that my hand has hold of your heart. Trust that I've already laid out your destiny, as Ephesians chapter 1, verse 3 says, even before the foundations of the world was laid, I've already destined you to greatness. But I need for you to trust in me. I know it's hard, I know it's difficult, but that's what I need for you to trust. Because I'm ready to take you to that next level. I'm ready to introduce you to something that's so great that the only thing you can do is say, God, I give you glory. That's what it is, the trial of your faith, which is more precious than gold, that may produce into you the praise and the glory that is due to only God. But the only way we can get it is by allowing ourselves to be purified in it. Stop running and start embracing. If there's anyone here today who feels like, yeah, you know what, I heard that and I think that applies to me, I'm asking you don't even have to come up. I'm just asking you to stand up where you are. I'm asking you to stand where you are. The reason why I'm going to ask you to stand where you are, because I want to show you something. I want to show you all something. The reason why I don't want you to come up here and I'm asking you to stand where you are, because, I want to show you something. I want to show you something that, something. God will meet you where you're at. So right where you're standing, if there's anyone else, I'm just asking you to stand to your feet right now. And if you found it doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter how old you are, it doesn't matter how young you are. I'm just asking you to stand to your feet right now. If you found yourself in that position, I'm just asking you to stand where you are. Praise God. Bishop, I need you to come up here, please. Bishop, I need you to come up here, please. I need you to stand where you are.
Yes.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Or maybe there's someone that you know that you need to be standing in for. Maybe they're going through it right now. And you need to be interceding for them. Maybe it's a spouse, or maybe it's someone that you're connected with, or whoever it may be. I'm just asking you to stand to your feet right now. Stand to your feet on behalf of that person. Praise be unto God. You know what? I'm gonna ask. Take your coat off. I'm gonna ask all the teenagers to stand up. All the teenagers, all you teenagers, stand up. All you teenagers, stand up. The reason why I want these teenagers, you preteens, you teens, stand up. Heard I said teenagers. Hallelujah. You ain't been a teenager for like 60 years now. Hallelujah. I want all my teenagers to stand up. The reason why I want all my teenagers to stand up is because right now our children are dealing with some things that we did not have to deal with as when we were younger. They're dealing with different obstacles. Right now with the social media and everything, they've taken bullying to a whole nother level. They've taken where now our children are finding their whole identity tied up in social media. And it's really a horrific thing to see. And so I want for all of them to stand up and because there's, like I said, there's just so many things that are going on with our children. And the thing is, parents, what I'm finding out is, what our children are telling us everything.